All right. Welcome to this episode of Talking Back Sunday. What are we at, 12?
12, I
Well,
think.
12?
Yeah.
that's right.
Dozen. Cozy.
Look at us go.
Yeah. Happy to see you guys.
Happy to
Too.
see you too. Before we go any further, John, I just want to say thank you for this
Oh,
shirt.
yeah. That's a cool shirt.
The dream has come
Yeah,
true.
I finally own a Don't Have a Cow.
I'm so glad it worked out. I'm glad I was able to find it and get it to you. And now we can all witness this dream come true.
Yep, you're yeah, it's a real beautiful thing.
That's awesome.
Is everyone enjoying their fall so far?
It's been beautiful.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
has
it's
been
like
nice.
it's finally not blazing hot outside. Like every morning when I come out, it's so nice, and it makes me so happy.
Yeah, the leaves are starting to turn. It's looking nice. I had a big week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a defensive driving course.
Ooh,
Why is
that
that?
sounds so exciting.
Yeah, saving 10% of my insurance for the next 3 years.
Wait,
Ah,
10%?
10%.
Nice.
Up here in New
Wow.
York, it means something, baby.
Wowee.
It's also one of the more boring things I've ever done in my life. But hey, I've learned some good stuff. I'm going to be extra safe driver.
That's
good
good.
for you.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Defensive
You're
driving
already a real safe
pays off.
driver.
I drive like a grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you'll be extra safe.
Yeah.
How'd you do that with the, did you do it online?
Yeah, it's all on the computer. I did it 3 years ago, and there was no pandemic going on. And I just sit at the computer, and you have to do a lot of reading, and then they give you a test at the end.
How about that?
Got mostly 10 out of 10.
Whew.
Wow.
There
I
was one time I slipped. I got a 7 out of 10. I had to retest. I was really bummed at myself.
Mm.
Oh,
I was kind of not paying attention. I think I had too much coffee or something. I was like,
let's just get this over with.
yeah. Mistakes were made, but then I got 9 out of 10 on the next one, so that was cool.
That's still good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so very eventful over here. You guys do anything that cool?
Speaking of driving, I have a pretty fun story. Well, it's not a long story, but I went to the store, which I haven't been doing at all, so I was already like nervous about that, but everyone had masks on and that was all great. But then I'm going to go home and I'm going to make a right hand turn, and light was red, so I get to it and I stop, and then a cop rear-ended me.
What?
No way.
Yeah.
The Bronco?
And I was just like, no, oh my God. If it was in the
Thank
Bronco, I would
goodness.
have been furious.
Yeah, I felt very scared
But,
for a moment.
Wow. What did he say?
and well, he didn't hit me hard or anything, but like hard enough, there's like a little hole in my bumper that I'm gonna have to take it in, which I'm not looking forward to. But the first thing, like I like felt the like jolt of getting hit, and then I was like, what? And I look in the rearview mirror, and then I'm like, is that a cop? And then I got out, and I just kind of like looked at him like, what the hell, man? And then he got out, and he was like super nice about it. You could tell that he felt real embarrassed.
Yeah, it's a bad
And
day
then-
at
but
the
I
job,
just
man. He's
thought,
going to get a lot of flack for that.
Yeah, and like, but like then I was thinking, man, what are the odds of that? Like I've never been hit by a police officer before, and then I immediately thought of that Modest Mouse song that I drove my car into a cop car the other day, and then but it's like reversed, and so that's something
Wait, so how
happened to
does
me.
that work with, like, do the police have their own, like, insurance? Like, do they cover the damage, or are they just like, you're on your own, we're the police?
Well, the thing I realized about it, which is kind of messed up. So first off, the cop that hit me had to call another cop to come to write the
Wow.
report. And then so we're like waiting, and then they show up, and like I get the card from the other cop, whatever. And then the next day, a guy from I don't know, like I forget the name of the department, but he called and he's like, yeah, so just take it into a body shop of your choice. Let us know what the bill is. We'll take care of it, blah, blah, blah. But then I was thinking, I'm like, wait a second. If the city...
Oh, no.
Oh, what?
Right?
We just lost
like,
you for a second.
You
You said
froze.
you froze that if the city.
Yeah. So if the city is paying to cover the damages to the car, technically I'm helping to pay for the damages to my own car because of my city's taxes,
Yeah.
which doesn't seem fair.
That's true.
It's like, so let me get this straight. A cop hits me, and then my tax dollars are contributing to getting my car fixed. Doesn't make any sense.
You should try to figure out what your percentage of taxes might be in that whole thing and see if you can get a refund on that.
Yeah, find the population.
Right? Yeah.
Divide the bill by that.
Which I guess if I look at it that way, like it's it'd probably only be a couple cents because there's a lot of people that live here in Charlotte. But
Nutty. It would be like how much you make a stream. Like if they stream one Taking Back Sunday song, that's probably what.
yeah,
Okay.
0.00000001.
Yeah.
Oh,
what do you think he was doing? Like what? Like I wonder what he was doing.
well, here's the crazy thing too. So I asked him, or no, like one of the first things he said was, "Man, I am so sorry. I was just, I don't know. It's like looking at my computer." But further down the road, like from the direction I was coming from, there was a lot of cop cars around, right? So he's coming from there. So as we're waiting for this other cop to show up, I asked him, I'm like, so what happened down there? And then he's like, yeah, that's where I'm coming from, like, because it was a little rainy. And then he's like, well, it's raining. A car was going too fast, hit a parked car, which then hit another car, which was in somebody's driveway. And luckily no one was hurt and like everybody was fine. So I think what happened was he was like looking at the computer. Over to like, yeah. So like he's like trying to deal with this other accident that he just was helping out at. And then he has to deal with the accident that he just caused. Yeah. So that wasn't a good night for him, I don't think, but he was nice enough. I'll tell you what, though, the other cop that came, and then 2 other police cars came. So the one lady officer was super nice. And then the other guy that came was not so nice.
But he was just there to take the information down?
Yeah, but he was being like really short. Like I was really inconveniencing him. And then I'm like, well, this is inconveniencing me, man. I got eggs in the car. I got to get home to the refrigerator. So anyways, that was the whole thing. But yes, that was an experience. That was a thing.
That is wild.
Yeah.
That's definitely more eventful than my defensive driving course.
Did he call you a
maybe? Yeah. Listen here, you long-haired hippie. Oh, it's. Wait, is that Bob Seger? The Turn the Page, that song, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Here I am on the road again. And he's talking about when he walks into the diner and they're giving him funny looks because he has long hair.
The same old cliches. Is that a woman or a man?
Yeah. Man, those were simpler times back then, man.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the Metallica version, though, personally.
You know what? It's so good.
Not good. Not good. Oh, man.
A rare misstep. That and Lulu.
And the snare sound on Saint Anger.
You know, I can appreciate that. They were going for something. It didn't work, but they were really going for it. They were all in.
It's
What,
like
the
45
snare
minutes of just-
sound? The snare sound or Lulu? Are you talking about?
The
On
snare
Saint
sound.
Anger, the snare sound.
I think that was Bob Rock. I think that was like Bob Rock saying he really wanted to focus mainly on the snare drum.
What if we
See,
made
what
the
it would-
snare drum sound like absolute garbage? What do you think, guys? I'm like, yeah, that'll
No,
be
it like sounds like they took like an empty can of beans and then put some reverb on it.
Yeah. And just sampled it for every single song and blasted it.
Yeah. No dynamics whatsoever. Every hit, 100% velocity.
You know what? I think it was a Hard Times article a few months back. They had one that said snare sound from Saint Anger announces 2020 candidacy.
That sounds about right.
Thought that was very funny.
I saw that. I did see that, and that is very funny.
John, you had a big week.
Yeah.
Your wife Camille put out her solo EP. It's wonderful. I gave it a good listen while the kids were out.
Yeah,
Jamie and I got
it's
to
great.
really focus on it over some coffee.
Nice. Yeah, I'll pass that on to her.
Please do.
Yeah, it was very exciting. We were working on that together on and off for probably the past like 4 months or so. And she's also been writing and recording kind of on her own at home for like over 10 years, and she's never put anything out there. So it's really big for her and really exciting.
That's
Very
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's cool too because you had Nathan Kogan mix it, right?
He did, yeah. We actually ended up, I talked to you guys when we were at his house recording the vocals. And yeah, so he recorded vocals and then mixed it. And he even did a little bit of backing vocals. You can hear him a little bit in one of the parts.
Nice.
Very special cameo.
Nice.
Yeah.
I noticed too that Joe was singing on it. From
Yes,
Transit,
Joe
though.
from Transit. He did some vocals on one song, which
How
was
did-
really cool.
How did that come about?
Well, he has a new project. I don't think they've officially released any music yet. He has a band called Narrowcast that he's been recording
Yeah.
stuff for a while.
I
And
recorded his vocals for that.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So there's one song. I don't know if it was one that you recorded, but he was playing for me, and there was a second vocal part that he was doing, but we ended up talking about it, and then Camille ended up singing that vocal part on the song. And so that's where it started. So like she sang on one of his songs, and then we figured, well, let's make this a proper crossover event and have him on one of her songs.
Tit for tat,
Nice.
I think they say.
Yes, that is what they say.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah,
Nice.
so I don't know when that song's going to be out. I think it's going to be soon. I wish I had more info to promote Narrowcast, but yeah, they're getting ready to release their stuff this fall.
Nice, good for them.
There's I like think he had Brad Philippe do the artwork too, who
Oh, really?
has
Nice.
done our record covers for those who don't know. Like, yeah, he's done everyone except Tell All Your Friends and Happinesses. So that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Very nice.
that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of funny that so between these projects that I've been working on with Joe being involved, and just like through text messaging and sometimes FaceTiming, I've probably talked to Joe more since I moved from Charlotte than I ever did when I lived in Charlotte. I would see him like maybe once every few months, and now I
Yeah.
talk or text with him like at least once a week. So I just had to move halfway across the country to get to be better friends with Joe.
This is
Things
Victor
like
Hardcore
that
founder.
kind of happens a lot, you know?
Yeah, I guess
You
it
know?
does.
Like oh, I'm moving to Florida. Oh, that's too bad. And then I see them way more because we tour. We go there twice a year or whatever.
Yeah, that's a big thing when you go through on tour a lot. Well, and basically, if anyone moves to Florida, we'll see them more than than anyone else in the world, probably. I feel like we end up in Florida on a normal year, like once a month.
Yeah, we are there a lot.
Yeah, I
There's
can't
always a
believe how long it's
festival.
been since we've been there. Like, we probably would have been there 3 times already this year.
Yeah, well, we were supposed to have a
Well-
thing in Busch Gardens. I know
Yeah.
that, and there was another festival we were
Yeah.
supposed to do that didn't end up happening. That's 2 right off the bat.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
2021. We're 22. We'll be there.
We'll just
Constantly.
do a Florida residency in 2021.
They're gonna need it.
We'll just tour around Florida for like 3
I mean,
months.
I think they're open for business right now. We could probably technically book a show.
Technically, yeah.
We weren't scared for our lives.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Man, a residency, you know, we've talked about that, and when I think about that, I'm like, man, that would be so cool if we could do a residency for however long.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, 2 nights were pretty great, but I mean, imagine 5.
Crazy.
I'm in.
I think we could do it in a small place.
When you do a residency, like how long are your sets? Like, is it just like a normal show, but just rather than one night, it's just a bunch of nights?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like those
so.
Vegas ones.
Oh.
Since you do your show, like I know Guns N' Roses did one a bunch of years back. Our friend Brian Diaz was working for Guns N' Roses at that time. And they were doing like 3-hour sets.
Wow, that's crazy.
And maybe they did like 2 or 3 nights a week. Like they can't do more than that. Like no one would have a voice.
Right.
But you're just set up
Yeah.
there for a month or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. You just kind of like, it's like you sleep in the same place and then you get to go do your thing and then you go sleep in the same place again. Pretty
Speaking
crazy.
of, how long have we slept in our own beds for? This is nuts.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like I think this is the longest stretch since I was like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So like 8 years.
So we're
Uh,
talking like December. That's good. December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Oh my God, we're like coming up. The last thing we did was in December, right?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it'll be a year. Yeah,
In
like we're
2
like
months?
like 2 months. Like cuz it was like December like 16th or something.
hmm
Wow.
So like somewhere around there.
Yeah.
This is like John Lennon's Lost Weekend. It was really like a year. That's what we'll call this.
Was his
Yeah.
Lost Weekend really a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. He was just like out in LA, just like partying for a year.
Why do they call it the Lost Weekend then? Why don't they call it the Lost Year?
I think it was Yoko's spin on it because he had like a girlfriend at the time that was like, I
Whoa.
think one of her best friends. But it was like
Well-
kind of an agreement, like, hey, keep an eye on him kind of thing while, you know, you guys are getting nuts.
Well, in his biography, it sounded like Yoko was sick of him.
Yeah.
And she was like, you got to get out of here. You got to leave me alone for a while. Like, go with my friend. Do whatever you want. Just leave me alone for a while.
What
Get your
year
head
did
right
he
and
do
come
that?
back.
Sean,
Had
you
to
know
be-
what year he did that?
Maybe mid-70s. Elton John talked about it in his book that I finished reading, a couple months ago. But like they used to hang out all the time at the Troubadour and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Him and Harry Nilsson and John
Yeah.
Lennon got thrown out of the Troubadour for causing a ruckus.
Yeah, that would have been
Nice.
cool to be a fly on the wall for that stuff.
Yeah, man. You know, I think about that. I think about
Absolutely.
being a fly on the wall for stuff all the time. Like seeing recordings of the Beatles
Yeah.
and just stuff like that. But man, in the mid 70s or whatever, in LA, yeah. He was probably up to no good, I would think, actually.
But having a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Very
Man.
naughty fun.
So did he put out records after that?
Yeah.
Or like, sorry, what was the record that came after that? like after his last year?
I'm not sure. Do you know, Sean?
No, not offhand.
Well, he put out like his like disco song, you know, it was with the saxophone all over it. It's
The
by far
lonely
John Lennon's
saxophone.
worst song.
Whatever gets you through the night.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all
That might
right.
have been around then. You know, he produced a Harry Nilsson album, which probably was around that time. And the first song sounds like a John Lennon song. And they got into this whole thing where they were like competing with each other in the studio about like who could scream in a song like the loudest and most intense. They were like doing songs together. And then like Harry Nilsson blew out his voice. He had like a beautiful voice, but he got into this screaming thing with John Lennon where they're competing. And then he blew his voice out and it was never the same again.
Amazing.
Wow. Jesus, dude.
And they were stone
That's
cold
crazy.
sober doing that contest, right?
I'm sure, yeah. Those were judges.
That's what totally sane, sober people do. Screaming contests when they're not 5 years old.
Yeah. But the first song on that album, it's great. It's Many Rivers to Cross, and it does it like I said, it sounds like a John Lennon song, and it's a pretty nice song, but he goes into a couple of parts where he just screams his balls off in the middle of the song, kind of unnecessarily. And it's weird,
That's
but it's
crazy.
really good.
That's great. Oh man. You guys want to get into this one question I sent over?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Jorge Ibarra from Monterrey, Mexico here. You are my favorite band ever and been growing up with you since Tell All Your Friends, and every new song hits hard like the first song I've heard. I've seen you lots of times and in different cities from El Paso, San Antonio, the 10-year anniversary of Tell All Your Friends in Houston, and the awesome 2-night 20 anniversary in New York. I have 4 questions. How do you feel about Halloween? Do you dress up? And if so, what is going to be your costumes this pandemic year? And are you working on new music? I guess Blink-182 recorded a song, even though they're separated. And then he said, and what is our favorite Mexican food? So you want to start with Halloween plans?
Oh, well, thank you for the kind words,
Yes.
Yeah.
Jorge. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And coming to all those shows. That's right.
Yeah. The first thing about the Halloween costume that comes to mind is the tour that we did the year Asa was born,
Mhm.
and then I had to leave the tour because he was born, or he came early, and then Spencer came out and sang.
Mhm.
Before the tour, I was so stoked because we never really do anything great for Halloween, but this year, like before the tour even started, we started talking about it, and I ordered Avengers costumes for everybody, and everybody got to pick their Avenger. And then when that show came up, I wasn't able to be there.
That's right. We were in
to
St.
wear my
Louis.
Thor costume.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that was 7 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Jeez.
That's crazy. I remember Spencer calling me a day or two afterwards and saying that he'll never play in a Halloween costume again because it was too sweaty and restricting.
Yo, it's
Just
not
funny.
fun doing that. Like the few times that we have done that, I've always thought like it's cool and all in theory, but this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing that for a job at like Disney, like wearing those outfits?
Oh God.
No. No.
That seems terrible.
It does seem.
Yeah,
Well,
and it's like 100 degrees and humid.
what about like being in Guar though, or something?
Guar.
Oh yeah, man.
Slipknot. They can't take off their uniform.
Yeah, that I guess maybe you get used to it after a while, but that can't be comfortable.
It's got to be so sweaty and gross, but they earn their keep. I'll tell you that.
like Guar, I remember one Riot Fest that we did. We were in like the press area, like doing press, and a couple of the guys from Guar were there at the same time doing press. And those costumes up close are so impressive.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it is like whoever makes those is really good at their job.
Were you scared?
No, I remember thinking, well, first I was like, holy shit, that's Guar. Secondly, I was like, wow, those costumes really are awesome. You know, because you think like, because any other time you've seen them, or I've seen them, I've been like in the audience, you just think, oh, like they make it so it looks good from far away, but that's it. But even up close, they're great.
About that.
But there was, and then last Halloween, we were in Buffalo, which is where Every Time I Die is from. So Andy, our tour manager, dressed up as Keith Buckley from Every Time I Die, and which really just involved getting a brown wig and a flannel, and then I drew tattoos on his hands. And I was so happy with it. I took a picture and immediately sent it to Keith, because it was on like one hand I drew like Snoopy, and then on the other hand, what did I draw? Can't remember what I drew on the other hand, but I thought it was just so funny.
That was funny. That was very funny.
Well, then he came out to flip the coin on stage.
Yeah.
And I think people believed it was Keith for at least a minute.
That was pretty great.
Yeah, good memories. I remember that place in Buffalo was very fun to play at. And I remember it was super windy. I went to my hotel after, and there was stuff flying all around, and then the bus flooded.
Yeah, there was like 2 feet of water.
Yeah.
Bus.
Greg, like Greg was up there that night, and we left the venue to go out to the bus, and we just had to wait there because it was like you couldn't go past the landing because everything was flooded. And then I felt so bad because outside there's like a
No.
We've lost him again.
Does he know that he's cutting out at all?
And then completely flooded. They had. Oh no, sorry, was I cutting out again?
Yeah, you cut out.
For about 5 seconds.
Oh man, I'm surprised this hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Adam,
is that any better? Cool. Yeah. Sorry, I'm like just out of reach of the internet. I think I had to turn that off.
Well, good. It's been working mostly well.
Nice.
I got it. I don't know if you guys were left before it happened. I was on the bus when there was like whatever much the water was like up to the very bottom of the door of the bus.
Yes.
And so our way of getting out was we got in a giant black plastic garbage bag and just kind of hopped through the water holding the bag up.
Yeah. And also to get the bags out from the bag, all our guys were grabbing our luggage. The luggage lives underneath the bus, so it would have gotten water in there, but everyone was smart and got them out of there in time with black garbage bags as waiters or whatever.
Yeah.
We were going out.
I remember
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I remember seeing the video of that afterwards, and it was really great to watch.
Yeah.
What a mess.
Yeah. That was funny.
Yeah, we were going. I think that was the night we went to see Keith's cover band.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, it was that night. And for whatever reason, I was out of the bus, so I got to see you guys do that. But that was fun.
That was good times.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think we're gonna do this.
Man.
Yeah, touring's fun.
Touring is fun. But like the city of Buffalo has really come around in like the last 5 years. Like more restaurants and whatever.
Yeah.
Better.
And it still has that gritty character to it
that
I appreciate and identify with.
Yeah. I liked it there.
What's the name of the studio there?
I can't remember.
Oh, the name of it?
Yeah,
I don't.
that place
It
is
was a
great.
nice
It's a
studio,
great
though.
studio in Buffalo, but I can't think of the name off the top of my head.
The owner is a bass player of Goo Goo Dolls, right?
Yeah.
Robbie Takak.
There we go.
I know you got a glossary of all the bass players in my head. The shocking amount of bands. Very, very useless. But anyone else getting dressed up?
Oh, for
Oh.
Halloween.
Yeah, hell
Wow.
yeah.
You are?
Yeah, there's Sylvie's going as Anna from Frozen because that's her favorite movie.
Yes.
Mhm.
And she doesn't know it and she hasn't seen it yet, but I got an Olaf costume.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
the
awesome.
snowman. Yeah, so well, it's kind of like just like a onesie, because I figured try to get some extra miles out of it, you know, and
Yeah.
so I'm really
Is it like a
excited.
onesie with a
for her to
hood with
see
like
me wear it.
Olaf's face on it or something?
Yeah, I can't wait until she sees me wearing that because I think she's gonna think it's pretty great.
That is awesome.
You know, Mickey is going to be Miguel from Coco.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh,
So
nice.
Yeah.
He'll
So
sing
I was
"Remember Me" and
thinking
make you cry.
maybe I'll be Ernesto de la Cruz, the bad guy, like you know.
spoiler alert.
I think you would look good in one of those suits.
Yeah. I would have to like get him. He has like a mustache, like maybe I'll
Start
even do
growing it
that.
now, man. You can do
You
it.
should just throw it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Nah, like
You
it
can
won't
do
take a long time for me to grow a mustache.
What about you, John and Sean? Are you guys gonna dress up?
I'm going to. I'm just not sure what. I'll probably do something based on what the kids do, but our experience with John through the years is from like October 1st to Halloween. He usually goes through about 4 to 5 different costumes that he's sure he wants to have, and then changes his mind. So I don't really plan anything until like that last week, and when he's like really settled on whatever it's going to be. So we'll see. Hopefully it's something we can team up on.
Yeah, we've got Teddy's going as a skeleton, so I think I'm going to be that because I bought that costume like 3 years ago. I've done that before, so I'm like, it's here. What the hell? And then Aurora's going to go as a little witch.
Nice.
She's been into witchy stuff lately, and she looks very, very cute. We got the costume already, so she's wearing it almost every day. So, again, we're getting good mileage out of it.
Any year I haven't dressed up, which is a good amount of them, I just say I am dressed up as a rad dad. I'm a rad dad.
Everyone can see that from 10 miles away,
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like, look at this guy.
Oh,
He's
that guy,
rad as hell, dude.
Oh my God, he must be a rad dad. And I'll be like, yeah, you're right.
Nailed it.
I
Speaking
think
of
it's
Halloween,
funny joke, isn't it? That's
it's
very
very
funny.
good.
It is very funny.
Our friend Melissa carved a wonderful tell all your friends to vote pumpkin.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
That
that's
was really nice.
so awesome.
She
Yeah.
makes really, really cool pumpkins almost every year related to our band. I'm sure she does a lot of other ones, but she is quite a hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always really impressive. I don't know how she does it.
Yeah, it's up on
Yeah.
the Taking Back Sunday socials, I believe, on all of them, so everyone should see that. I voted this year already, so I took her advice.
Did you do the mail-in stuff?
I did. I got the mail-in ballot in advance. If you have COVID concerns in New York, they'll just send you one. So I said, hey, send me one of those guys. So I got it done. I think my wife Jamie is going to be a poll worker. Not in the naughty sense, okay?
Oh, wow.
We are going to go. We're going to go and vote this year, so maybe
You're doing it in person?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
like,
they-
I was like, in North Carolina, the early voting starts on October 15th, so I'm going to try to go early and
That's the same
knock it
here.
out.
Is New York doing that like that early?
I think it's going now.
Oh, you
I
can go
think
in
I think you can
person?
go to a couple different places in your county, and you can go. There's designated. It was like kind of far for me, so I was like, I like the mail-in thing. Whatever. I brought it right to the post office and gave it to the guy, and I was like, okay, I feel pretty good about this. I think it's going to get where it's going.
You say,
So-
here's my vote, sir.
Yes,
Take care of it.
I'm exercising my rights as a citizen. My duty, my civic duty. I
Yeah,
wore
I'm
an
actually
American
looking-
flag tie and everything. I marched in there.
Oh, nice.
hmm
Saluted.
I did.
I'm actually looking forward to voting because it's like something I think when I was younger that I just didn't really like, it didn't interest me much, but I'm like really looking forward to it this year.
Are you
Like, I wish
researching?
they were doing early voting now because I just go do it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
Lord knows
got,
we
you
got
got
the
your
time.
local candidates and everything
Yeah,
researched.
yeah. There's oh man, you know, like we've been like I don't know if you guys have gotten this, but like a ton of like the election calls, you know, like they like call and say, hey, I represent this candidate and they want to talk to you about that stuff. So like certain people that have called, it's felt so nice just to say, yeah, I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote early, and I cannot wait to cast my vote to try to remove the person you're working for. It's gonna be fantastic, and that really throws them off. It's a little small joy, small
What are they-
quarantine joy.
What do they say?
They well, like
Did
the
they-
one for like one of the senators here in North Carolina, they like start to like kind of like talk me out of it. And if I have time, you know, if I'm not doing anything, I'll tell them how I think they're wrong, and then say that they should have a nice day, and then I'll just get off the
Good day to you, sir.
phone. No, good day to you.
You know, I was thinking about when it comes down like locally, you know, buying a machine gun, just doing some poll watching.
Ugh. Dude,
What do you
what's
guys
crazy?
think?
I'm not even gonna get into
You're
that.
not even
'Cause
gonna
it is
comment.
so like, well, dude, yeah. I don't think, yeah. Or I'll talk about it when we're not recording.
Well,
Wait,
I mean,
what?
that-
It's something.
that's
Did
what
something happen
patriotic
that I-
Americans are supposed to do, right? That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
It's highly illegal, but like a lot of the people in charge are trying to encourage people to do that, to intimidate other people. Just, it's ridiculous.
it's crazy. It's insane. And
That's like, I think, yeah. I like think it was Dan Rather said something like if you if you're having to actively engage in some kind of voter intimidation or suppression, then it's just further proof that nobody likes your policies.
That's a good point.
that shit's the worst. I want to
Yeah.
make it clear to anybody that's watching that I was being sarcastic. That was sarcasm.
Totally sarcastic.
I'm not going to get a machine gun.
And you don't want to suppress
That's-
anybody's vote.
No, man.
You know,
Vote
that
for
type
who
of
you
dude.
want to vote for.
Well, the amazing thing is the way that it's portrayed is to go down and make sure everything is being done legally and correctly.
So they're doing a good thing. They're doing
right. Yeah,
everybody's
it's a
favor.
positive. They're doing their civic duty.
Dude,
Like you're
it's
taking your gun
such,
down to the polling place and watching people.
Oh, good. Well, then good.
Yeah, they're just
such
keeping us safe.
bullshit.
Wow, that's good to hear.
That reminds me of their like kind of like at like the height of like the quarantine back in spring. There's a photo of this guy in Subway, like the sandwich shop in Raleigh, North Carolina, with a bazooka on his back, and I'm just like, dude, What?
A bazooka.
Yeah, like it shoots projectile little missiles.
And he
then,
couldn't keep
like,
that in the truck while he got his sandwich?
No, like he had to let the governor of North Carolina, who's doing a great job keeping the citizens of North Carolina safe, that he had to let him know that he disagreed with him. And how was he going to do that? He's going to go get a sandwich from Subway with a fucking bazooka.
What a tough
Idiot.
guy.
Yeah. Oh,
He must
he's
be
so
a real
strong.
tough guy. Yeah.
You know, I just read because of the sugar content in Subway's bread, you can't call it a sandwich anymore.
Yeah.
I think it was
The
in Ireland.
Supreme Court ruled that.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. And wait, was that in Ireland?
Yeah.
I love it there, man.
But yeah, I just go in there for the smells anyway. So
No, I'm in Ireland, not Subway.
yeah, I love
wait,
the
I
smells
was
in
like-
Ireland.
He
I
meant
was like,
Ireland
wait,
too,
what
yeah.
smells in Ireland does Adam like?
Yeah. No, man. Oh, but not Ireland. But speaking about Subway, you know, my brother used to be a sandwich artist.
Wow.
Really?
Get out!
Yeah. He could
You just telling me now?
he could paint the most beautiful sandwiches.
Oh man.
John,
Does
you
he
had
still
a
have the
joke for
skill?
years about sandwich artists.
What
What's
was
that?
my joke?
Didn't
Yeah,
you?
what was it?
It was, you would make a joke about how they were called sandwich something. Unless you were being serious. But they're artists. They are artists.
A lot of times I would say that Subway is my least favorite restaurant. But I'll still get a salad from there. I had to eat there. I mean, it was one of those things you had to eat there one time or another because I was
Man,
like the only food within walking distance. Like, all right, I'll eat it.
What's that place that we go to that Andy orders from on tour?
Nando's.
Jimmy John's, son.
Jimmy John.
Oh, Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
That makes me
Ever
wonder
since
about Jimmy John's bread.
So
Yeah,
good.
their smells are free.
So good.
That's right.
Oh yeah, they are. It says so on the sign.
You know, I don't want to brag or anything, but I live about 3 minutes from a Jimmy John's. So
What?
Shut up, John.
things are pretty good for me over here.
Yeah. Obviously.
Next
There
level
was the
living,
one-
bro.
There was the one tour we did to where we were rehearsing, and I think we were in Cleveland, and we ate Jimmy John's for like 4 days straight every
Yeah.
day. And then I like think after that I didn't have it for a long time because I was like, no more Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
But then now I'm back in it. Well, I haven't had it since, I mean, probably last year. But if someone were like, hey, Adam, would you like some Jimmy John's? I'd be like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know,
those good talk.
there's certain things that that I just don't eat at home for that reason. Like, well, there are no Jimmy John's here, but like hummus, like store-bought hummus, I can't eat it at home because it just takes me to
This tour.
dressing rooms.
Mm.
Yeah. Only homemade hummus.
You make homemade hummus?
No, I don't. But
So? Sick.
That sounds good though.
I was like, I
Yeah,
would think I would like some homemade hummus.
Yo,
That just like triggered in my.
It's great.
I
You know
can't
what?
get down with the consistency of hummus. I don't like it.
In general,
Well, no, like the consistency of it, like the way
like
it
any
feels and-
hummus across the board.
Yeah, there's never been a kind that I've been like, ooh, you know what I want more of? This hummus.
Man.
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
missing
But
it.
it's not because of the taste, it's just because of the way it feels
Mhm.
when I'm eating it.
I gotcha.
I get
You
that.
know what I have that at home that is never that like a tour home thing is I almost always have salsa in the house, and a lot of times we'll have tortilla chips, but I would never at home just take a tortilla chip and dip it in salsa and eat it as a snack.
There you go. Like that.
Never
Same
would do
thing.
that. But on tour, almost every day of my life, I end up doing doing that.
Yeah.
One of those things. I don't know. It's just a tour thing. You don't do it. You don't do it at home.
It's on tour. Everything's about convenience because everything is so
Right.
inconvenient. So making a snack, that's the easiest thing you can really do to get
Right.
some kind of flavor and nutrition. And you usually don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
I'll eat it.
Yeah, it's right there. I can eat it.
Yeah.
It's edible and it's here.
Yeah. Crazy.
Let's finish up with Jorge's last question. What is your favorite Mexican food? Speaking of food. And I was thinking about Mexico City when we played there and how awesome it was because I drank a lot of mezcal and ate like 45 tacos at the little restaurant next door to the hotel. And it was such a great memory.
Oh, man, we were sampling all those tacos.
Yeah. I went back the
that was
next
fun.
morning before we went to the show and got more tacos for lunch. It was so good. And I think it was just like carne asada. I think I got a side of like avocado and threw that on there. Oof, holy smokes, it was so good. That's my favorite. Like carne asada street tacos.
Yeah, it's like it was basically just like meat and then like some onions and maybe a little bit of salsa or something, and that's it, right? It's like just basic but so good. That's
the great thing about like going to Texas and Arizona, getting like really, really great Mexican food.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like anywhere
man.
you go, it's gonna be excellent.
Yeah.
Just be like
I've been
around
making
the corner
burritos
at a shopping center.
At home when I make burritos, I've been making with it Impossible meat, and man, it's really good.
Yeah, that is the best fake meat I've ever had. The Impossible stuff.
Yeah.
I had a bunch in my freezer.
Nice.
Very cool. You know what, man? You know what? At Stop and Shop, I haven't, like, a couple of times, like, I've gone, it hasn't been there, and I think to myself, I think you was Sean taking all the Impossible burgers.
I do the same thing.
Jerk.
I do the same thing if they're missing the just egg. I know it's you.
Yeah. Mark!
How dare you? I got to drive further to another store.
Tacos are good.
Yeah, I think for me, like, Mexican food is just one of my favorite foods. Like, my top two favorite foods are Mexican food and breakfast food, and that's pretty much it.
You've always been a very big fan of nachos.
I love nachos.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Bus nachos are incredibly convenient.
Yeah. Well, it's like some of the most convenient food that you could eat because it's all built in. You know, you don't need silverware or anything.
And what about bus nachos?
Bus nachos are like, sometimes they hit the spot, but they are 100% sad all the time.
Yeah.
It's usually like some cheese that shouldn't be used on nachos. You get like ripping up pieces of like Swiss cheese or something.
Yeah,
and
like turkey
like,
cold cuts on there, and I don't know, like a flimsy paper plate.
For like folks that like might not know, like bus nachos, it's pretty much like, because it's always guaranteed you're gonna have tortilla chips, right? And then normally any cheese you have will be like sandwich style sliced cheese. So it involves chips, the sliced cheese, and like whatever else you can find that's on the bus that you have, which is normally what Sean said, like deli stuff, like like cold cuts and or like turkey and like whatever sliced cheese you have, and there's always salsa. Andy's really good about getting the good salsa though, so that really helps that out. Helps the bus nachos
that
out.
Newman's Own. It's good.
Oof. Get out of town.
You know, he donates all the profits to charity. Never took a dime from that.
I heard that.
No.
I heard that.
You know, I was thinking bus nachos aren't really made that much unless we're staying up way too late on the bus having a really good time.
Yeah. That's That's true.
3:30
Yeah, everybody's
Two
making
in the
nacho.
morning.
time for some bus nachos.
Yeah.
Before I toddle off to bed.
Yeah, you go to bed with some salsa stains all over your shirt.
How's this guy here?
I didn't eat any salsa. Dude, you had bus nachos at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
Why
you're
don't you
shoving
remember?
it down your face like an animal.
Oh, that's why I don't remember. It was just too late.
That's funny.
Lose my memory when it gets too late.
That's the problem. It's too late.
It's just too
Yeah, it's
late.
too late.
You stayed
There's
up-
nothing else that's going on. It's too late.
That is one of the things that like when people think about like being in a band and like partying, like sometimes I think what people picture as partying is not what's happening a lot of times. It's like, yeah, people are hanging out on the bus drinking, but you don't picture them sitting at a table shoveling like microwave nachos into their face at 3 a.m. like as the party.
Or losing their
Blasting-
pants.
Blasting oldies, you know?
Yeah, blasting 50s doo-wop.
Well, Tom Petty. Oh.
It's real class operation.
But yeah, I think people don't understand about how you can misplace your pants when it's so late at
No.
night.
You have to be, I think you have to be someone who's toured for a long time to understand how difficult it can be to find your pants in the morning on the tour bus.
Yo, I hate
Is there some kind of joke that I'm missing here?
Yeah.
Have you not? I think you go to sleep in your pants a lot, so I don't think you have this problem.
Yeah.
I've gotten more consistent with where I put my pants. But in my younger years, I would find like a new hiding spot for myself at like 3:30 in the morning, going to bed, and I'd find it. Oh, this cabinet I've never used before. I'm gonna stick it here. So the first 2 hours of my day are spent trying to find wherever that might have been.
It's like at like 4 in the morning, whatever, right before bed, and you're just like, I've got a good spot to put my pants. This is gonna be good.
Where no one else will mistake these for their pants, and I'll surely be able to find them.
Isn't that weird that happens? Like, you're like, why did I do this? Why didn't I just put it where I usually put it? I had to put it in the amazing hiding spot.
I'm gonna do better.
Why do you have to squirrel away your pants too? That's a whole nother good question. Like,
I always
and
feel.
why are you so proud when you do it? You're like, oh wow, this is really.
yeah.
I'm really something.
I'm the only guy that's thought of this ever.
In the moment, I always feel like I'm being really responsible. I'm like, I'm getting dressed for bed. I'm going to put my pants away like a grown-up, and I'm going to put my pajama pants on, and I feel really good about myself. And and then you wake up in the morning, and like after an hour of looking, you find them like rolled up in the corner of a drawer underneath something where you've never ever put them or would have thought to look for them. And it's like definitely the difference between your morning brain and your 4 a.m. drinking brain.
And also my mentality is, well, I know I'm up later than most people tonight, so I'm gonna pick a spot where no one will mistake these for their pants.
Right.
And they don't want to accidentally put on my pants thinking it's their pants.
Because that's
this
a big
extra
problem.
special spot. Yeah, everyone's always putting on each other's pants.
You know, that made me think of like when someone goes to bed at like 3 in the morning and they're really proud of themselves because they're not blackout drunk.
Yeah.
Like, look at these losers.
I'm so much
I'm
better
going
than
to bed
everyone
early.
else.
3 a.m.
And you could be drinking for 3 more hours longer than them. You just started earlier.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, it's always like such small things that you make yourself feel like an irresponsible adult on tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just started rolling up my pants and keeping them in my bunk, and now I know where they are every time. Like, okay,
That's
these
usually-
live here forever.
That's
That's
smart.
usually my go-to now.
Yeah.
Except
Or like, yeah.
when I choose the best hiding spot in the world. That's funny.
I don't see a
Because
better note
worse-
to end on. Do we? Do we have a better note than that?
Well,
I've got
let's-
one
it's
more
funny
thing I
that
just remembered.
we got there from a
Tacos.
question about Mexican food.
You know what the absolute worst one is? It is when you find your pants finally in a place like that, and then your wallet's not in it because you had another great idea about where you would put your wallet, and then you have a whole new search to go on.
It's like in your pillowcase.
Yeah.
No one's ever
Like
gonna
under
find
your
it.
mattress or something. Like no one's gonna find my wallet. It'll be safe here.
This hiding spot's so good, but the wallet might fall out. So the wallet.
Well, it's funny too because it actually, in that case, it would have been better to just leave your wallet out because then somebody in the morning would be like, "Hey, isn't this your wallet?"
Yeah, it's always these brilliant ideas that just make your life so much harder the next day.
But at the time, you're a genius. God, man, I'm really something.
Nothing's gonna happen to my wallet.
Glad I finally figured it out.
Tor.
Yeah, good times.
All right.
All right, there we go.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in to episode 12. Go out there and vote if you can do so early. Do it safely. Get that thing done. ivoted.com, headcount.org. All good spots, right? Anyone else got anything else?
Nope.
No.
It's everywhere. Google where to vote.
Yes. John, what is the name of Camille's record, and where can everybody find it?
The name of her EP is Archetype, and it's on Bandcamp is the best place to check it out. But it's also on all the streaming services as well.
Rock
But
and roll.
if you check it out on Bandcamp, that's the most directly related to her, and like not going through percentages of streaming services.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, everybody, we will see you next Tuesday. Tune in, and we'll see you there. Send your questions to takingbacksundaypod@gmail.com. And peace out, everybody.
Bye-bye.